Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Jagannath Jayo Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jagannath Jayo Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jayo Gandharvika Gidhari Gandharvika Gidhari Gaurari Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantare Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Anantare Lakshmi Varagade Jayo Lakshmi Varagade Lakshmi Varagade Jayo Lakshmi Varagade Jayo Prabhupada 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 Jayo Jaya Prabhupada Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalasalakya Tacharumalitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Tadambisham Padankyam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Vata Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ramnatam Tam Tam Tasajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagna Lalita Sri Vishakanta He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sudevi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhisha Kripasadeva Cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Mahasanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Pankaja Nabhaya Namo Pankaja Maline Namo Pankaja Netraya Namo Pankaja Angriye Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswati Divyasam Tato Dayam Udare Nasta Praya Subhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavate Naitike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandaraya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langere Tegri Yeti Kripa Tamaham Vande Sri Guru Dinataranam Paramanandam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I seek blessing from all the devotees so that I can speak Bhagavatam in the Parampara for the pleasure of the Krishna and the devotees and my own purification. Today we will be reciting the first canto, 19th chapter, sloka number 13, appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. So we are almost reached 13th sloka, still we are not talking about Sukadeva Goswami. The set scene is, it's all going on with introduction that sages are assembled in Naimisharina. Last week we were discussing about the greatness of the sages who are come from different planetary system and they assemble for that. So today also we will be discussing why they have come and what is the greatness of that. So you can recite the slokas along with me. Rajo Uvacha Aho Vayam Danyatam Nirpanam Mahatmanam Grahanya Silaha Rajanam Kulam Brahmana Pada Sauchat Durat Vishrastam Bhatagrahya Karma Raja Uvacha Aho Vayam Danyatama Nirpanam Mahatmanam Granya Shilaha Rajanam Kulam Brahmana Pada Sauchat Durat Vishrastam Bhatagrahya Karma Rajo uvacha aho vayam danyatama nirpanam mahatmananugrahaniya shila rajanam kulam brahmana pada saucha durat nishwa vishrastam batagrahaya karma. Word by word meaning. Raja uvacha, the fortune king said, aho aha, vayam we, Danyatama, most thankful, Nirupamam, of all the kings, Mahatama, of the great souls, Anugrasnya Shila, trained to get favors, Rajanam, of the royal, Kulam, orders, Brahmana Pada, feet of the Brahmanas, South set, refuse after cleaning, Durat, at a distance, Vishrastam, always left out, Bata, on account of Grahaya, contaminable, Karma, activities. Translation and purport by His Grace, Shesi Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The fortune king said, indeed we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favor from the great souls. Generally, you sages consider royal as a refuge to rejected and left in a distant place. But according to the religious principle, the stool, urine, wash, water, etc. must be left at a distance, long distance. Attached bathroom, urinal, etc. may be very convenient, eminent of modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. That very example is cited herein in the relation to the kingly order for those who are progressively marching back to Godhead. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to be the intimate touch with the dollars and cents man or the kingly order is worse than a suicide for one who desires to go back home, back to Godhead. In other words, the transcendentalists do not generally associate with men who are too enamored by the external beauty of the God creation. By advanced knowledge in spiritual realization, the transcendentalist knows that this beautiful material world is nothing but a shadowy reflection of the reality, the kingdom of God. They are not, therefore, very much captivated by the royal opulences, anything like that. But in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, the situation was different. Apparently, the king was condemned to death by an inexperienced Brahmana boy, but factually, he was called by the Lord to return to him. Other transcendentalists, the great sages and mystics who assembled together because of the Maharaj Parikshit fasting on to death were quite anxious to see him, for he was going back to Godhead. Maharaj Parikshit also could understand that the great sages who assembled there were all kind of his forefathers, the Pandavas. Because of their devotional service to the Lord, he therefore felt grateful to the sages for being present there at the last stage of his life. And he felt that it was all due to the greatness of his late forefather and grandfather. He felt proud, therefore, that he happened to be the descendant of such great devotees. Such pride for the devotee of the Lord is certain not equal to the puffed up sense of vitality for the material prosperity. The first is the reality, whereas the other is a false and veiled. Hare Krishna, welcome once again for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. Today will be, it's a very interesting part of the sloka. We'll be discussing about a few points which is very important from this sloka. One is that toilet. What is the present civilization of toilet and what was good old days practice? Second thing is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejecting the royal opulences. From there we will be getting that, and how the sages also behave when they see the kingly royal kings and royal rich peoples, why they have to do it. So these are the points we will be touching upon from this sloka. Let us understand as a devotee point of view. This is the first verse spoken by Parikshit Maharaj after receiving the great saintly person, all categories of great sages. This is the first he started talking after, because he came to the Ganges and started meditating on the Lord, and that is the time all the great sages from different planetary system. Last week we were discussing who are all the great sages came from the different planet. So they started assembling in the near the Ganges, and he started talking to them, standing on a folded hand, telling his decision of to fast until death. This is very, very important. Like yesterday also Prabhu was giving class that he's taking permission from them in a folded hand in front of them, telling that what is his decision to do. It is not that because I am king I can do whimsically what I want. No, everybody has to be governed by another person. So there is nobody is independent. We are all Bhattatmas, and we are defective. So we have to take guidance from the seniors. So before even he started fasting, he is taken permission from all the sages. So that is the point we have to understand. Nowadays, if we see the politician to take the mileage of political stunts, they declare it for wage war against the ruling government. They go on announce it that I am going to fast. So they will do it, but it's all for the political stunt. They didn't even properly taken permission, or they after they started, then the police and the other people they'll go and do the formalities, and they give the police protection and all that things. So this is a modern way of life thing. But in the good old days, the Vedic way of thing is first you have to obtain the permission from the sages what you have decided to do. That is the appearance. That the appearance of the saintly person itself is indication of that Parikshit Maharaj is a very fortunate for able to get such a wonderful association in the last stage of putting the body. So, that's why repeatedly we are saying, the Prabhupada is saying that assembling of the great sages itself shows that how great the Parikshit Maharaj is. Because such a great souls have here no respect for the great kings who are powerful personality, who have great course in there. Because such a great souls have no respect for great kings, who are a powerful personality, who have great courage to fight battlefield, willpower to rule over the citizens. These are some of the qualities of the great. Actually, the great rishis, no, they are not very attracted or very looking for kings to take shelter and all. Actually, they reject the kings because the kings' qualities are different. They are very powerful personality, number one. They have a great courage in fighting the battlefield. They are not just running away like these people, fearful people. They have very great courage to fight. So, third one is the willpower to rule over the citizens. So, recently we also heard that Australia, next to Australia, there's a country where that within 6 months the president give up for post, saying that it's very difficult to rule. So this shows that you should have, even to rule a country, you should have willpower. So otherwise it's not possible. So if you see all these qualities, how great the king is. So that we have to understand, because generally we read, but we will not understand the gravity of the position of the king. So why did Parikshit Maharaj sages consider as a royal in the purport? Prabhupada says that consider the royal as a refuse to reject and left at a distant place. So what Parikshit is saying is normally the toilets are built outside the house. living quarters. All such refuse garbage has to be discarded far away from where we live and clear atmosphere. So, as a house should be clean and the toilet should be away. But for the convenience of the people in modern society, they built the toilet inside the house. So, that is not a good practice. So, that's what in this purpose Prabhupada trying to tell. If you are serious about going back home, back to Canada, you should be associate too much. You should not associate too much with the material people. So, the first and foremost quality everyone should understand is we should not attach too much with the material people. If you are decided to go back to home, because that will again create a bondage with the material world. The Lord Chaitanya said that saintly person who is engaged in a devotional service to Krishna, the ultimate goal is cross over the material existence. He always says that we have to cross over the material existence of the ocean. Okay, such serious transcendentals say that merely glancing the sense enjoyers or the object of sense clarification is worse. He says that such people, just a glance of this sense enjoyer, people who are materialistic people, and objects of sense gratification is very much worse than willingly drinking a poison. See how much he is covering. Even he can drink poison while seeing those people. This is the saintly people's how they are looking at this modern world. It's very dangerous for a saintly person to renounce all the material comforts to even look at the sense gratification or objects of the sense enjoyment. So it is so difficult. So that's why they keep distance. Whatever material benefits, actually the creation of illusory energy meant for enjoy the material things. They entangle in the material things, continued and in a repeated birth and death. Whereas the transcendental give up all sense objects, don't associate with sense enjoyment. So here, why the material things they are rejecting is because it makes them to continue in a repeated birth and death. So these saintly people, they don't want to take another birth, so just they reject it out. Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter clearly says that the material world is perverted reflection of spiritual world. The object of the real and reflection is the shadow of reality. So spiritual world is a real and material world is just a reflection only. If you are interested in the reality which is the kingdom of God, then this material world, however nice it may appear promising, it is nothing a reflection of a shadow. So we have to understand. As from the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter clearly says that whatever you say that beautiful mountains, flowers and all these attractive things, all beautiful women, all these are perverted reflection only. So if you want to really enjoy, better go to spiritual world because it is a reflection only, not the reality. It's just like you're seeing things in a mirror because you cannot sense anything there. There is no substance to try to enjoy materially. So because there is nothing, it's an illusion, so you cannot enjoy it. The transcendental has realized the fact. So transcendental is very much aware of it. They realize it. Therefore, they are not captivated by the royal opulence like that. So that's why they simply reject the royal opulences. They are not attracted by the palace, the king's palace, and the facility of the rich man's. So transcendental just they ignore it out. This is the only possible by realizing the knowledge. The first of all, one has to hear from the spiritual authority. So there are steps how to realize it. First we have to hear from the spiritual authority, then internalize. Internalize means observe it. What he has been heard. So after hearing, they have to internalize and then digest the information of the knowledge. So the knowledge has become realized knowledge. So why they have to digest the knowledge is so that knowledge, whatever they heard, is become the realized knowledge. So it is like whatever you speak, you have to practice. Another way you can say that. So jnana has to become a vijnana. So we say that I know Gyan. So already people talking about Gyan, but nobody talking about Gyan. That means the only able to follow, one is able to act. So that's whatever talk you should practice. So on this platform of knowledge, so this much of knowledge should get it. Another example is I heard from this ISKCON Salem, Gurukula, I spoke to that in charge. They say that they have very good, nice schedule. Morning Mangalati, they get up boys before Mangalati, they attend it. After that, they'll take prasadam and they will go to school. There, Gurukula, they study about Vedic, simple maths and science and local language, everything. And second half, post lunch will be means after noon, they are left free. The boys can do the personal work, taking bath, washing the cloth, and they can recollect whatever they studied in the daytime. In the evening, they will go and play in the field and have prasadam and they'll go to bed. So this is a Vedic way of life. So here is but modern school education is morning till night. They go on study. There is no chance for the boys to recollect what he studied. So they get bored of. So this is a nice point what Vedas are teaching us. So first we should hear, digest the information of knowledge, and knowledge has to be realized. I said realized knowledge. So they have to recap. This is how our brain increases, it works. So store. That's how they are able to memorize so much of slokas. Bhagavad Gita 700 slokas, 500 slokas. This is how we have to train our mind. So this is set example Prabhupada given us. The Parikshit was called king to leave immediately. Parikshit was called by Krishna to leave immediately. It is not that accidental where that immature Brahmana by cursed him and all. It is the will of the Lord, that's why he decided to leave. The devotional service is the topmost spiritual practice. First we have to understand why we underline always yesterday. Last week's sloka also we are discussing there is 3 stages of there. One is the yogi, jnanis and bhakti. So what they cannot achieve in first 2 stages, bhaktas can achieve. So that's why the devotional service is the topmost spiritual practice. The great devotees are recognized by advanced transcendentalists as the topmost in this material world. So why we glorify the great sages means the advanced transcendentalists, they practice bhakti. So that's why we are also glorifying them. We are talking so much about them. The Pandavas respected like that. The Parikshit was a descendant of such family. So Parikshit was also very happy to receive such great sages and association at the last moment of his life. So this we have to understand very nicely that at the time of death, if people are gathering, okay, that great sages are gathering, he is very proud of them that they came and giving association. So there is another quote also, the way you live is shows how at the time of death, how many people turn up to your to meet you. So that's a dharmic way we should live so that people will please to come and see at the time of you departing this world. So this is what is shows that. That means that is a normal quote, but Parikshit, the people who came to assemble for his last departure, it's a great sages. So you cannot, how much value is Parikshit Maharaj if you have come to know that. Maharaj, Parikshit was astonished that great sages had come to bestow upon him, even though he had committed such a heinous act of putting a dead snake as a garland on this sage. So here the astonishment in this sloka, we have to understand that the point Prabhupada trying to say is astonishment. It is not a normal thing what you can correlate it. Because he himself is surprised at how come this so many great sages from the different planetary system they came to give association? He had done a very silly thing. You can say in our term is a very silly thing of putting a dead snake. But they not consider it. He was experienced. He is expressing his gratitude. He is giving a thanks to them that he bowed down to the sage and folded hands, say that he is showing that gratitude to them by bowing down and folding his hand. Because of this, why he is doing it, these sages know that royalty as a contaminated. They never care about royalty, how rich you are and all. Nowadays, if you see the like yesterday I was giving example of Ambani, Ambani party and all, like a film star, any film star birthday, people gather. It's all because of his high position, wealth, property. There are other people are gathering at that place. But here the sages are they least bother about the royalty. Okay, they offered him association. They don't associate with the royal kings. Generally, kings are associated with money and women. Why the sages don't associate? Because the kings are always pampered with money and women, wealth. Of all the kings, I am most grateful. He is proud of that. Because of the sages assembled, he is very proud that I am the very grateful. He is thanking the Lord that I am grateful. The great sages like you fear of infected by material desires. The sages are very scared of the material things. Kings to rule kingdom, they should have lot of material opulence and association and desires. So it is like a politician, MLA or MP or this thing, he should have a lot of wealth and lot of his gundas or the followers. And also he should have a passion to become a bigger post and to become a politician. If these qualities are there, only he can be a politician. Otherwise he cannot become a MLA or MP or thing. So the mode of passion to rule the kingdom. So even the kings should be in the position of passion should be there. Mode of passion should be there. You can't rule the kingdom. You cannot become a king if you are mode of goodness. So this is what is there. So even the last week discussion we said that the sages they are not worried about the post or they are not interested in any of the posts. So because the sages are in the mode of goodness, whereas the kings are in the mode of passion. So this is the differentiation. Varnasma Dharma, they scientifically made it such that each Varna they will act accordingly. Then only they can act accordingly. Kings that arrived of the great sages is a Lord's special mercy upon him. So Parishit Maharaj thanking the Lord that all these great sages assembled in the arena because of the Lord's mercy only they came. He was aware the kings are generally sinful, they will avoid such association. He is very much aware of that. Generally the sages will not get associated, they will keep distance from them. They are not come there to show their sorrow or condolence to him. This is a very important point we have to understand. Because all the sages assembled there is because the Maharaj Parikshit is going to depart his body, leave his body. It's not for the sorrow they are not come or they console him that okay, this happened, something like that. Generally, we people when we go to any death, we console the family members that okay, please take care or something. Good words we'll talk about. But these sages who have come, they are not. So these sages are not come for not for that purpose. They had come for the higher purpose. Srimad-Bhagavatam going to be spoken here.
Discussion and purpose. So
And
how
as soon as
Uddhava is talking to Vidura and he is explaining Krishna, his connection with various things. So if you see here, this is
they had come here for the higher purpose of Srimad-Bhagavatam going to be spoken here. And as soon as Srimad Bhagavatam is over, they just left it. They didn't even wait for the Parishit Maharaj to leave his body. See that sages' quality. This is another quality we have to understand that how the great sages behave. First thing is they are not come to console or feel sorrow for the Parishit Maharaj leaving the body. Number two is they come for the higher purpose. Because any of body is temporary, obviously it will die, it doesn't matter. But the higher purpose is Srimad Bhagavatam will be spoken in that arena, and they came to hear that only. And the moment that Srimad Bhagavatam is over, they didn't even wait for the Parishit Maharaj to leave, they just left the place. This shows how valuing the time. These great sages, simply they are not whiling away. If you see in our day-to-day party and all, people will wait till the last shop is closed. So, because they don't have the value of the time. So they associate, they drink and eat and have merry, dance and all the things. So, till that shop person throw them out of their shop. So, but these great sages come for higher purpose, they left as soon as Bhagavatam is over. So, this is a message we have to learn from this sloka. And Prabhupada underlining is association, few points. One is association of the devotee, and he is underlining the Parishit Maharaj expressing the gratification of sages who are assembled and eager to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So, also the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the slokas says that among the million who are liberated and perfect, all knowledge of liberation, they desire to be devotee of the Lord. So, these liberated souls are devotees of the Lord, Narayana. One such great soul is peaceful and extremely rare. So, it is not Janata. Among the millions of the people, one or two people are very million number of people are liberated or perfected people. They are very peace because they surrender to Lord. Because they are devotee of the Narayana, Lord Narayana. Here Parishita Maharaj also, see, he is very peaceful, not agitated because he has got a curse and he is going to die within 7 days. So this is a point, another point we have to understand. When you become a devotee of the Lord, you never get agitated by the death. So you will take it as a going back to Krishna. So nowadays, if you see many normal people, if they come to know that they are affected by cancer or any deadly disease, they keep isolate from the common people, means their own relative. Recently, I met one of my relatives that Mataji is affected by cancer. She is in 8th stage, and she is telling her husband she want to leave Bangalore and going to Coimbatore, isolated village, something. I want to spend my last day. So this is the great difference because their fear of facing the world. Whereas if a great devotee, he is very peaceful, calm. He is welcoming the death because for him the death is going back to God, leaving this body, mortal body. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not want to meet Maharaj Pratap Rudra also. So he is avoiding it. Pratap Rudra is the king of Orissa and he want to take association, meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Maharaj is a king full of opulence. W3 will say that. Generally one wine, woman and wealth. So these things are always surrounded by that. So that's why the great sages now they'll try to avoid. He going on refuting when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya going on and Damodar, Sarup Damodar and are requesting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give darshan. He's going on refusing, no, I will not meet him. So this is what this shows that how the renounced person should behave. This is a lesson from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Parishit Natai introducing himself as a great opulence kingdom. So when he meet the sages, when he bow down and speaking, he is not introducing himself as he's a big emperor of this world and his great opulence, how much he has and all. Generally, when you go to any speech, the speaker will introduce himself as he's a big man and so much of qualification. He studied so many degrees. He worked in so many big companies. He is having so much of property. They pamper themselves big. But Parishit, when he sees the sages, he is not pampering. He's not talking about he's the emperor or that. He says that he introduced himself to the sages that you are come because my forefather and grandfather who are the pure devotee of the Lord. See how much importance he is giving. He is putting himself low in front of them and telling that you come because of my grandfather and forefathers who are Bhishma Dev, Pandavas. Because of them, they are the great devotees of Lord Krishna. You are come in this arena. Srimad-Bhagavatam teaches us when calamities come, how we have to surrender to Lord helplessly. See, this is a message for us. Like example is Draupadi when she was in husbands are helpless, she surrendered to Krishna. So that's how we have to surrender. And another example is Bali Maharaj says when his guru asked him not to give the 3 foot of land because the person who came, Vamana, is none other than Vishnu. He will take away all your opulences, he was telling that. But Bali Maharaj refused. He said that I have to keep up the name of my family, my ancestors. I cannot go back my word. See, though he is an asura, he is valuing his forefathers, value how great they are. So nowadays, people, nobody respect their family tree. They don't even introduce their parents and grandparents to their friends or the public forum. Because they feel they are no great. Many parents and grandparents are not educated. But they are very knowledgeable. But these younger children, they don't tell their parents that they are not educated. They won't tell themselves as that they are master degree, so many PhD. This is the difference. So this sloka, we have to learn this message. Is Prabhupada giving us as we should honor, glorify and proud of their grandparents. Because of them only we got this opportunity. The conclusion of this sloka is, Sri Prabhupada says, association of the devotee is very important in our life. Whatever situation, don't leave ISKCON. Be in the part of that. Outsiders looks good but very difficult to live. But inside it's very difficult but we can survive. Something similar quote he will say that. So we have to be always in association. And second one is saintly people will not get attached by the opulence of power. Only by way of attraction is a purity, pure devotional service. So saintly people, we should not undervalue that. If you nicely decorate your house or nicely showing all the royalty, the saint, they will attract and they will come to your house. No, they will see your pure devotional service, how much your purity is there towards the Lord. And last point is the eagerness of the devotee to hear Bhagavatam. So these are the 3 points Prabhupada underlined from this sloka and message for the devotees. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you. Hope something informative, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.